Have you ever felt like you're stuck in the same place while others seem to move forward effortlessly? Do you wonder what separates those who rise from nothing from those who remain trapped in their circumstances? The answer isn't luck or connections, it's the power of belief. What you think about yourself becomes your reality. Successful people didn't start with advantages, they started with a vision and an unshakable belief that they could make it real. But here's the real question. If our thoughts are so powerful, why do so many people stay stuck? Do they stop dreaming, or do they give up when challenges arrive? Today's story will answer that question, and it might completely transform how you see your own potential. In a busy railway station in a small town, there was a man who had known nothing but hardship. He had no family, no shelter, and survived each day by asking strangers for spare change. Most people walked past without a glance. A few tossed him coins. Others looked through him as if he were invisible. Every night, he slept on a cold platform bench, counting the few coins in his pocket. Life was brutal, but he never imagined it could be any different. He had accepted that this was his destiny, to beg for survival. That was his identity, and he wore it like chains he couldn't see. One busy morning, as trains arrived and departed in a chaos of sound and movement, he noticed someone different. A man stepped off a first-class coach, wearing an expensive suit and polished shoes. Everything about him radiated success: his posture, his calm expression, his purposeful stride. The beggar's heart raced. This man has money, he thought. Surely he'll help me. He approached quickly and extended his trembling hand. "Sir, please, just a few coins. Anything you can spare." The man stopped and studied him with thoughtful eyes. Then he spoke quietly but firmly. "Do you always ask others for what you need? Tell me, have you ever given anything to anyone?" The question hit him like a splash of cold water. He stammered, "Sir, I'm poor. I have nothing to give anyone." The businessman's expression softened, but his words remained sharp. "If you believe you have nothing to offer, then you have no right to receive anything either. I'm a businessman. I believe in exchange. You give something, I give something. That's how the world works. But if you offer nothing, I can offer nothing in return." With that, he turned and boarded his train, leaving the beggar standing alone on the platform. Those words haunted him. No one had ever challenged him like that before. All day, the businessman's voice echoed in his mind. If you want to receive, you must first give. That night, sleep wouldn't come. He lay on his bench staring at the stars, wrestling with a single question. What do I have to give? He had no money, no skills, no connections. He was nobody. But somewhere deep inside, a small voice whispered that the businessman was right. For 2 whole days, he didn't beg. He just sat silently, watching people rush by, searching for an answer. On the 3rd morning, while sitting near the railway tracks, something caught his eye. Between the stones and dirt, a cluster of wildflowers had bloomed bright yellow and purple, full of life in the most unlikely place. He stared at them, and suddenly it clicked. Maybe this is what I can give. He carefully picked a handful and returned to his spot. When a kind elderly woman dropped a coin in his bowl, he smiled and offered her a flower. She looked startled, then her face lit up. "Oh, thank you. This made my whole day." It was the first time in years anyone had thanked him. That simple moment changed something inside him. He continued this new practice. Every time someone gave him money, he gave them a flower and a genuine smile. Slowly, people started stopping to talk. They asked about the flowers. They smiled back. Some began giving him more than before, not out of pity, but because they felt valued. He noticed a pattern. When he had flowers, people were generous. When he ran out, they ignored him again. So it's true, he realized. People want to feel like they're receiving something. Everyone values an exchange, even if it's just a smile or a small flower. Weeks later, while handing out flowers, he spotted the same businessman boarding a train. His heart pounded as he rushed to the window. "Sir, wait. Today I have something to give you. If you give me money, I'll give you these beautiful flowers." The businessman looked at him, and a slow smile spread across his face. He handed him several bills and said, "You've learned life's greatest lesson. You're no longer a beggar. You're a businessman now." The train pulled away, but those words burned into his soul. A businessman. For the first time in his life, he didn't feel worthless. He felt capable. The next morning, he made a bold decision. He borrowed a basket, filled it with flowers, and started selling them properly at the station. His genuine warmth and humble approach attracted customers. Each day, he earned a little more. He saved carefully and eventually bought his own flower cart. Months passed. The man who once begged in rags now stood tall in clean clothes, full of confidence and purpose. He had discovered something precious, his own worth. One beautiful morning at that same railway station, two men met again and shook hands with respect. The businessman barely recognized him. "Wait, aren't you the beggar from months ago?" The flower seller smiled with pride. "Yes, that was me. But I'm not a beggar anymore. I own a flower business. Now I travel to other towns selling flowers. Your words changed everything for me." The businessman gripped his hand warmly. "No, my friend. Your thoughts changed everything. I only helped you see what was already inside you." As the flower seller watched the train disappear down the tracks, a profound realization washed over him. "I was never truly poor," he thought. "I was only poor in my thinking." The moment he believed he had something valuable to offer the world, everything shifted. Life began giving back to him generously. And that's the truth for every single one of us. You don't need wealth to give. You don't need power to succeed. You only need to believe that you have something valuable inside you, because when your thoughts transform, your entire future transforms with them.